Welcome back. All right, 7 games tonight in the National Hockey League, so busy for Monday. We'll go ahead. We'll start right off with the Philadelphia Flyers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. It was Ersson versus Vasilevsky in this one. Tampa with some pressure a minute and a half in. The only shot on net in this one is Tampa's 4 minutes in. Very quiet start to this. Both teams playing very well defensively. And that would kind of be the storyline throughout this one, honestly. Delorier fires one wide on a turnover. The 7 minutes in, the Flyers still didn't have a shot on net as of yet. Hagel couldn't bury one from the side of the net. Tampa Bay presses 8.5 minutes in. The Flyers block. We then had a fight between Delorier and Douglas. Douglas is learning some of these veterans are tough. Shots are 5-1 at the half in favor of the Lightning. Sealer has a point shot that's held as the Flyers are pushing, looking for that opening goal. But at 15:34, it is Tampa getting the opening goal. Hagel, it's a screenshot that's tipped in. Lilleberg and Kucherov with the assists. So it becomes 1-0 in favor of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa presses with 3.5 minutes. The Flyers get some pressure of their own to close things out, but it's 1-0 Tampa after 1. Second period. Tampa had the early jump, then Forster has a rush chance that's defended, doesn't get to the net. Gensel has a rush chance that's held at the other end. 6.5 minutes in, the shots are 3-2 in favor of the Lightning. Tampa's controlling, but the game was only 1-0 at this point. So this is the Flyers' way of playing. That, yeah, they may not be playing very well, but they don't get that far behind when they're not. The Flyers' press are kept to the outside. Tampa has a 3-on-2 that misfires. 35 minutes into this game, there were 8 shots for the Flyers. So very quiet for the Flyers at that point. The Flyers would get some pressure with 4.5 minutes left, but at 16 minutes, Cirelli makes it 2-0. He gets a goal from Hagel and Kucherov. So Hagel and Kucherov with 2 points in the game, and it's 2-0 for Tampa. Things get pushy on a hole by Vasilevsky. Stays 2-0 Tampa after 2. Third period. Tampa presses at 2 minutes, but nobody's getting shots to the net. 4 minutes in, there was not a shot on net as of yet. Michkov's then denied from the slot. We get a power play for the Flyers. That becomes 1 minute and 26 seconds of 4-on-4. Everything gets killed off there. Not a lot of power plays in this game. Shots are 3-2 in favor of the Flyers with 9.5 minutes left. The teams trade turnovers. Mosier blocks a chance for Forster that may have gone in the net. The Bolts are back-checking really well in that second half of the period. 3:54 left. Tampa gets a power play. That's killed off. The goalie pull would happen shortly thereafter with 1 minute and 40 seconds left. And at 19:44, Hagel hits the empty net to make it 3-0. The assist to Kucherov and Cirelli. So the final score in this one's 3-0. The chess magnets on the board because 3 goals or less, and the Tony the Tiger magnets on the board because Vasilevsky was great. Shots on net, 7-4 Tampa in the first, 7-5 Philly in the second, 9-6 for the Flyers in the third. The final shots are 20-18 for the Flyers. Power plays, Philly 0-1, Tampa 0-2. The hits 22-20 in favor of the Flyers. Ersson saves 15 out of 17. Vasilevsky saved all 20 for the shutout. So kudos to him for that. All right. Next up, Detroit and New Jersey. Talbot versus Markstrom. The Devils draw a power play. That's killed off. Confer has a fight with Nason. The Wings come out of that with a power play, so the Devils kill that one off as well. Because both teams 0-1 at this point in the game. Shots are 2-1 Detroit at 6 minutes. Things get pushed in a hole by Talbot. There's a net feed to Glendening. Near miss at the net there. Devils press at 8.5 minutes. Palat gets robbed on a net drive. Hey, he's not allowed to have goals. It's just not a thing. The Wings go back to the power play. That's killed off. The Devils get some pressure with 8 minutes left. And at 12:54, Meyer deflects a point shot into the net. The assist to Nason and Hischier. New Jersey with the 1-0 lead. The Devils look for another, but it is Detroit that ties it. At 16:33, it's DeBrincat scoring from Kane and Sider. So now we have a 1-1 tie. Devils press for response. Eventually they get it at 17:58 on a rush. Hischier with a wrister from the high slot solves Talbot. The assist to Bratt and Meyer on that one. We have a 2-1 lead for New Jersey. Meyer nearly adds another, and then at 19:02, Cody Glass does. In his return to action, he makes it 3-1. The assist to Luke Hughes and Connor Brown. So we have a 3-1 lead for New Jersey, and that's your score after 1. Second period. There's an early power play for Detroit, and they score on it at 1 minute and 30 seconds. It's Van Riemsdyk scoring the goal, Kopp and Finney with the assist. So there's Finney on the board again. The score now 3-2. Teams trade turnovers. The shots are 3-2 in favor of the Devils, 5 minutes in. Things get pushy on a hole by Markstrom, and there's a lot of that tonight. These teams do not like one another. Good forechecking by Detroit, but then at 8:38, there's a turnover, and Connor Brown buries it. Mercer gets the turnover, gets it to him in front of the net, and New Jersey has their 2-goal lead back at 4-2. Teams trade turnovers. Larkin hits both posts on a net drive. The Wings press with 5 minutes left. Again, we get some pushing and shoving when Markstrom has a hold there. DeBrincat's net drive chance is the next one that's held, and it's 4-2 New Jersey after 2. Third period. The Wings press at 3.5 minutes. They're kept to the outside. Nemitz then has a point shot that's blocked. The Wings get a rush chance after that. The shots are 2-1 in favor of Detroit 4.5 minutes in. Wings get some more pressure at 6.5 minutes. Then the Devils with some of their own at 9 minutes. But at 10-12, Larkin buries one from the doorstep. The assist to Raymond and Sider. And then we get some punching as a celebration for that. So, I mean, however you celebrate, it's really up to you. But that makes it 4-3 in favor of New Jersey. The Wings press with 7.5 minutes left. They had a lot of momentum here. Larkin's denied. The Wings are in complete control. Goalie pull happens with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Again, we get pushing on a hold by Markstrom. The Wings just ran out of time. So at the horn, we get more punching, because why not? So Devils hold on. They win this one 4-3. The shots on net, 8-7 New Jersey in the first, 15-6 Detroit in the second, 13-5 Detroit in the third. Final shots 35-19 for the Wings. Power plays 1 for 3 for Detroit, 0 for 1 for New Jersey. The hits 25-22 for New Jersey. Talbot saves 15 out of 19. Markstrom had himself a night, 32 saves on 35 shots. All right, next up, St. Louis and the Rangers. Hofer versus Shesterkin in this one. The Rangers press 2.5 minutes in, trying to get that opening goal. Berard hits the outside of the post. Shots are 2-0 in favor of the Rangers 3.5 minutes in. Rangers, more pressure by them at 6.5 minutes. They had tons of opportunities. The Blues were in their own zone for most of that first half, but the shots are 6-4 for the Rangers with 6 minutes left. There's a press by the Rangers with 4.5 minutes left, but then at 17:36, it's the Blues that open the scoring. It's a wrister from the top of the left circle by Holloway, Broberg, and Parayko with the assists. So at 17:36 of the first period, the Blues get the lead in a period that I thought the Rangers played pretty well. Panarin then has a last-minute shot that's caught and held. It's 1-0 St. Louis after 1. Second period. Sherry's denied on a face-off win. There's a net feed to Laba that gets blocked. Shots are 3-2 for the Blues at 3.5 minutes. Fowler has a net feed. That's blocked. The Blues press at 7.5 minutes. Good flow in this one. Not a lot of whistles at that point in time. The Rangers forechecking leads to some more pressure on their part. Zibanejad has a one-timer. That's blocked by the Blues. The Blues get pinned down, but they're blocking the net pretty well until at 10:06, it's a cross-ice pass and in on a rush. Trocheck gets this one to tie it. Brodzinski and Fox with the assists. So just past the halfway mark of the game, we have a tie. The Blues draw a power play. That's killed off. Panarin's then denied. The Blues clear. The Rangers get some pressure with 2.5 minutes left, and after 2 periods of play, we have ourselves a 1-1 tie. In the third period, 40 seconds in, Lafreniere bats one out of the air into the net. The assist to Gavrikov and Cooley. The Rangers with their first lead of the game at 2-1. Blues look to respond. The shots are only 1 apiece 4 minutes in, so the Rangers did score in their first shot of the third period. Falk has a one-timer. That's blocked. Panarin has a wrist shot that's blocker to side at the other end. Then we get pressure by the Rangers at 7.5 minutes, and at 8:56, Edstrom buries one from the doorstep to give him that insurance goal at 3-1. The assist to Gavrikov and Fox. So Gavrikov and Fox both with 2 helpers tonight, and it makes it 3-1. The Rangers, more pressure with 7 minutes left. With 5:51 left, the Blues get a 4-minute power play. So this is like your key moment of the game here. The goalie pull happens late in that 4-minute power play to make it 6-on-4. There's a post for the Blues, and that's as close as they get. That power play is killed off. The Rangers ice the puck with 1 minute and 25 seconds left, so the Blues call a timeout. Then at 18:45, during the 6-on-5, they score. It's Braden Shen making it 3-2. The assist to Buchnevich and Falk. So you pull the goalie again, and with 2 seconds left, the Blues get a power play. There was a lot of debate about this. It was the Rangers broadcast I was watching because they blew the whistle, even though there was no turnover. The Rangers didn't possess it. But either way, the Rangers win this one 3-2. There's no damage out of this. It's just weird that they blew the whistle before the Rangers touched the puck. So shots on net, 9-5 Rangers in their 3-2 victory over the Blues. The Blues outshoot them 7-6 in the second period and outshoot them 9-5 in the third. The final shots are 21-20 for St. Louis. Power plays 0 for 3 for St. Louis. The Rangers didn't have any. Hits 31-18 for the Rangers. Hofer saved 17 out of 20. Shesterkin, another strong effort, 19 saves on 21 shots. And the Rangers get themselves a win at home. It's the Blues, so you got to kind of, temper your reactions based on the fact it's the Blues. But still, it's better than not getting the win at all, right? Let me just double check. All right. Just double checking the time. My eye's still a little bit, it's what it is. So Columbus and Washington, hopefully that gets fixed tomorrow. Going to the optometrist tomorrow. Really rooting for that. Merzlikins versus Thompson. Also going to the dentist tomorrow, so I'm just going in for a tune-up. So Merzlikins versus Thompson is this Columbus and Washington. Sort of nearly opens the scoring, but does not. Caps press 2 minutes in. Columbus is blocking the path to the net pretty well. The only shot on net 3.5 minutes in actually belongs to Columbus, but at 6:05, Chychrun. It's from the left circle, it's past a screen, and it's the first shot on net for Washington. They make it count, they get the goal. The assist to Leonard and Lapierre. Duhaime then has a 3-on-2 chance that's blocked out. McMichael's denied on a rebound opportunity. It's all Capitals after that 1-0 goal. Columbus was just absolutely overwhelmed for most of the rest of that period. Columbus would get some pressure with 3 minutes left, and then Protas fires one wide on a rush. So after the first period, it's 1-0 in favor of the Capitals. Second period, Matejchuk has a shot that's blocked. The Caps rush. Columbus draws a power play, so Washington kills that off. Shots are 4-2 for Washington at 4.5 minutes. Leonard gets shaken up. It was a hit to the head. And Sillinger didn't get a penalty on the play, so I guess they didn't see it. But, yeah, Washington wasn't very happy with that. Pretty sure Leonard came back into the game. I'm trying to see if he got on the score sheet. No, but I'm pretty sure Leonard came back into the game. Just had concussion protocol. That's standard. So the Caps press at 6.5 minutes. Both teams are blocking the path to the net pretty well at this point. Shots are 7-5 Washington with 6 minutes left, and at 16:29, the Capitals make it 2-0. It's Tom Wilson. He scores from Protas and Sortif, and then the Capitals, with this momentum, they get some pressure for another. With 50 seconds left, they get a power play, and at 19:45, Chychrun deflects a point shot top shelf. It's a point shot that's deflected top shelf. Chychrun credited with the goal, the assist to Tom Wilson. So it's 3-0, and then at 19:58, this is why you play to the horn. It's a face-off win, and it's in. Wilson with the goal in this case from Ovechkin and Sortif. So Sortif with a multi-point game. I think that's the first time he's had that as a Capital. And it's 4-0 in favor of the Caps after 2. Third period, Carlson's denied on a face-off win. Lundestrom then can't bury one on a net drive. 3.5 minutes in, the shots are 3-1 for Washington. They're just rolling downhill at this point. 4:05 in, it's a point shot past a screen. Ferrari gets the goal to make it 5-0. The assist to McMichael and Carlson. And what I was thinking was, is this another extermination game? No. At 5:50, Matejchuk ends the shutout and the extermination bid to make it 5-1. Gauntz and Christensen with the assists. There's a power play for Washington. Leonard has a wrister that's held. We get 43 seconds of a 5-on-3 for Washington. Columbus does kill that off, but they're still down by 4. We get a power play for Columbus, so Washington kills that one off as well. Columbus would press with 2.5 minutes left, but game was done. 5-1 win in favor of the Washington Capitals. Shots on net, 10-7 Washington in the first, 12-7 Washington in the second, 9 apiece in the third. Final shots, 31-23 for the Capitals. Power plays, Columbus 0-2, Washington 1-3. The hits, 21-11 for Columbus. Merzlikins, 26 saves on 31 shots. Thompson saved 22 out of 23 at the other end. All right, let's go to board number 2. All right, Florida and Nashville. Tarasov versus Saros, and 11 seconds in, Florida scores. Nashville needs to stop giving up goals in the first 15 seconds of a game. Greer on a pass from behind the net scores for Hagee and Jones with the assists. So 11 seconds in, it's 1-0 for the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champions. Preds look to respond. Panthers draw a power play. That's killed off. And then at 5:42, Rodriguez buries a rebound from the side of the net to make it 2-0. Balinskis and Reinhart with the assists. And then Nashville answers. Forsberg, it's a net feed that's tipped short side by Forsberg at 6:52. Evangelista and Yossi with the assists, so now it's 2-1. Panthers go back to the power play. That's killed off. And then Stamkos is absolutely robbed on a rush out of the box. And then at 10:32, Svechkov ties the game at 2. He buries a rebound. It's his first of the season. About time. The assist to Weisblatt and Jost. But 59 seconds later at 11:31, Boquist scores from Forsling and Reinhart, and that was 3 goals on 6 shots for Florida. And then it gets worse at 15:44. If you're going to pass the puck, make sure you're not putting it in off of Bennett. Goes in off Bennett's shin pad, and it makes it 4-2 in favor of Florida. They don't need help You don't need to help them, Nashville. So that's your score after one period of play, 4-2, and I knew this was going to be an 80s game. Early in the second, Annunen in the net, and 1:24 in, Forsling scores his first of the season. Shannon with the assist. This is actually when Annunen goes in. Annunen goes in after this fifth goal. Right, Forsling from Shannon Skanes, 1:24. I even put the note on the board, but bad hockey guy. We get a power play for Nashville. That's killed off. Florida presses at 5 minutes. The shots are 3-2, though, for Nashville 6 minutes in. Nashville, with some pressure, they're kept to the outside. Nashville honestly controlled large swaths of this second period. They get the net feed to Stamkos gets picked off. Marchand has a wraparound that gets blocked. More pressure by Nashville with 2 minutes left. There's only so many ways I can write press and pressure, right? Teams trade rushes and turnovers, and again, most of the second period controlled by Nashville, but Florida with the only goal. Things get pushy on a late hold by Tarasov, and at the horn, these guys are chatting with one another. So it's 5-2 for Florida after 2. Third period, Rodriguez gets denied on a net drive. We then get a power play for Nashville, and they score on it. At 2 minutes and 11 seconds, it's a point shot that deflects in. Blankenberg from Howla. Suddenly it's 5-3. There's a little bit of hope. The Preds look for another. Shea has a wrister that's held as Nashville gets some pressure. And then at 4:52, A.J. Greer gets another goal. Multi-goal game for A.J. Greer. Verhaeghe and Balinskis with the assists. So that widens the lead to 6-3. Shots are 5-2 Nashville at 7.5 minutes. Things get pushy on a hold by Tarasov, so it becomes 4-on-4. And at 8:33 during the 4-on-4, during a really lousy line change by Nashville, all 4 players left the ice. Yep. They went, time for a line change, guys. Let's go. But Florida has the puck. It's fine. What are they going to do? Score? They did. Reinhart buries a rebound. Rodriguez and Ekblad with the assists. And then at 12:49, Verhaeghe with a backhand goes roof on a fast break. He gets his first goal in a while. The assist to A.J. Greer. So it's another point for Greer. Makes it 8-3 with 3:36 left. Nashville gets a power play. That's killed off. 8-3 is the final. So the 80s magnet's on the board, and also it's a 5-goal difference. So bam, with the 5-goal difference, the No Mercy magnet has to be on the board. Shots on net, 15-13 Florida in the first, 13-4 for Nashville in the second, 13-6 for Nashville in the third. They outshoot Florida 39, to 25. Power plays, Florida 0-2, Nashville 1-3. The hits 25-19 in favor of Nashville. Tarasov had a very good game, 36 saves on 39 shots. Saros 11 saves on 16 shots, and then Annunen in relief, 6 saves on 9 shots. All right, moving along. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Utah Mammoth. Lindbaum versus Vejmelka in this one. Schmaltz hits the outside of the net on a rush. The Mammoth had the only shot on net 3 minutes into this game. Utah draws a power play. Schmidt has a shot that deflects wide during that, and Vegas kills that off. The Mammoth press after it's done. The shots are 3-2 in favor of Utah, 9 minutes in. The teams trade rushes, and then at 14:54, Gunther roofs a wrister from the slot to make it 1-0 Utah. The assist to Cooley and Schmidt. And then at 16:11, it's a net feed that's buried by Logan Cooley on a rush. Gunther and Schmidt with the assist. So the same 3 players combine on both goals, make it 2-0 Utah, and that's your score through 1. Second period, White Cloud has a one-timer. That's kicked aside. Reinhart has a near miss on a net drive. The only shot on net belongs to Vegas 4 minutes in, and at 5:24, Barbashev buries a rebound and close to make it 2-1. The assist to Eichel and Bowman. In fact, the shots are 5-0 for Vegas 6 minutes in. So this is a storyline we've seen with Vegas in years past, but it's different tonight. Smith has a one-timer that's kicked aside as it's all Vegas. There's more pressure by the Golden Knights at 8 minutes. Cole has a net feed that misses as Utah's trying to push to get the lead back to a 2-goal lead. Shots, though, are 8-1 for Vegas with 9.5 minutes left. The Mammoth draw a power play. That's killed off. Again, Utah with some pressure when it's done. We then get a power play for Vegas. Dorofeev gets denied during that. Vejmelka ends up holding on, and that power play's killed off. Momentum was with Vegas late, but it's still 2-1 for Utah after 2. Third period, the teams trade rushes. Kolasar can't bury one in close. Peterka has a net drive that's saved. Vegas with some pressure 4 minutes in, and they turn it over. At 4:19, after a turnover by Eichel, it's a breakaway goal by Cooley. It's the second of the game, and Utah has their 2-goal lead back at 3-1. Utah couldn't bury one then amidst a dog pile at the Vegas net. I was really surprised that one didn't go in. Shots are 5-2 for Utah at 6.5 minutes. Carcone has a one-timer that goes wide. Puck's cleared out. We get a power play for the Vegas Golden Knights. Eichel has a one-timer that's kicked aside. That power play's killed off. Keller couldn't bury one in close. He had an opportunity. Shots are 11-4 Utah with 5 minutes left. The goalie pull would take place. And at 15:41, Cooley scores the empty netter he scores into the empty net for his hat trick goal, and Cole had the assist. Then with 3:16 left, Vegas gets a power play. They're down by 3, but they go 6-on-4 anyways. And so at 17:43, it is the rare shorthanded empty net goal. Cooley gets that one, so that's 4 goals, and then Utah finishes the kill. The final score is 5-1, or 4-1 for Cooley, but 5-1 for the Utah Mammoth over the Vegas Golden Knights. Shots on net, 9-8 Utah in the first, 16-4 Vegas in the second, 12-10 Utah in the third. Final shots, 34-25 for Vegas. Power plays, the Golden Knights 0-3. Utah 0-2. The hits, 19-17 for Utah. Lindbaum saves 20 out of 23. Vejmelka saved 33 out of 34. All right, last game of the night. Ottawa and LA. Is anybody sad these teams aren't going to play each other again this season? Me neither. They're both very defensively minded against one another, and very quiet games. So Marilainen versus Kemper, there's an early press by the Kings. The Senators then draw a power play. During that, Amadio couldn't bury one. That power play gets killed off. Shots are 2 apiece at 4.5 minutes. Things get pushed in a hold by Kemper. The Kings with some pressure 6 minutes into the period. Kempe is denied twice from the doorstep. Shots are 8-6 for Ottawa with 9 minutes left in the period. Pinto has a rush chance. That's gloved aside. Byfield then has a slot shot. That's kicked aside. Kings get some pressure with 3 minutes left with 2:15 left. Hellenius drops Halliday with a hit that leaves him bloodied, but there's no penalty on the play, so clean hit I'm imagining here. Halliday exited for repairs. He did come back into the game, so it's scoreless after 1. Second period, early power play for the Sens, but the Kings prevent an early setup, and they kill it off without a shot. So really good penalty killing there by the LA Kings to keep Ottawa off the board. LA then draws a power play of their own, and then during a shorthanded 2-on-1, Zetterlund hits the post. Just so close to making it 1-0 there. The Sens then finish the kill. The shots on net are 2-1 LA, 6.5 minutes in. Moore gets denied from the slot during some pressure by the LA Kings. Halliday then has a rush chance. That's saved. Stützle has a rush chance of his own. That's held. So rush opportunities are taking place in this. Matt has a chance that's kicked aside. Sanderson has a wrister. That gets blocked. The shots are 7-5 for Ottawa with 8 minutes left. And spoiler alert, the Kings didn't have a shot the rest of the way. The Kings go back to the power play. That's killed off. No shots on net there. Stützle is then denied on a rush. The Sens draw a power play with 3:32 left. And Kemper put in the work. Cousins and Batherson are denied back-to-back, and Kemper helps to kill that off. There's a post for Byfield on a rush. Things get pushed in a hole by Marilainen late in the period. We don't have a goal through 2 periods, because of course we don't. These teams don't score goals when they play each other. Third period, Moore loses the handle on a rush. Kuzmenko has a wrister. That's caught and held. The Kings press at 2 minutes. Shots are 2-1 for the Kings at 4.5 minutes. And at 5:31 on a 2-on-1 rush, it's cross-ice pass and in. Warren Fogle scores to make it 1-0 for the Kings. The assist to Armia and Edmondson. There's more pressure then by the Kings at 6.5 minutes as they look for more. The Sens press on their own at 9.5 minutes. They're kept to the outside. And then at 10:49, Zetterlund buries one to tie it on a rebound. The assist to Matenpalo and Jensen. So Zetterlund's starting to heat up on this California road trip. But then we get a power play for the Kings, and they score on it. It goes in off Artyom Zub at 13:50. Clark gets it from Edmondson and Perry, and there was 1 second left in that power play when that goal went in. The goalie pull happens with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Ottawa tried. They were not able to tie it. Your final score is 2-1, so the chess magnets on the board again. So the second time tonight, so we get 2 chess magnets and 1 80s magnet as well as 1 No Mercy tonight. Shots on net, 11-10 Ottawa in the first, 10-5 Ottawa in the second, 8-7 Senators in the third. They do outshoot them 29-22. Power plays, 0-3 for Ottawa, 1-3 for LA. The hits, 20-14 for the Kings. Marilainen saves 20 out of 22. Kemper saves 28 out of 29 at the other end. So both goaltenders played well. Now let's take a look at what this did to the standings. All right, so no change in the top three in the Central because these three teams did not play tonight and nobody chasing them caught them. The top three, a change in the Pacific. Vegas drops down, the Kings move up. Kings 11-6-6, 28 points in 23 games. Vegas now 10-5-7, 27 points in 22 games. And Utah 12-8-3. They also have 27 points, but they've played one more game, 23 games. So Vegas continues to not quite make themselves comfortable in comparison to these teams below the playoff line. In the West, the only teams below the playoff line that played lost. St. Louis is now 7-10-6 for 20 points in 23 games. The Nashville Predators 6-12-4, 16 points in 22 games. So, yeah, the four teams in the West here below the 500 mark are they look like they're kind of out of it at this point, right? 7 points back for St. Louis and Vancouver, 8 points back for Calgary, and 11 points back for Nashville. So, generally, even though it's relatively early in the season, a difference of 7 points or more usually does you in. I remember everybody talking about St. Louis and how they were the last place team, blah, 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 and they won the Stanley Cup. I think the furthest out of the playoffs they got was maybe 5 or 6 points that year. In the Atlantic, we have a new team in first. It is Tampa. 13-7-2, 28 points in 22 games. Detroit with the loss, 13-9-1, 27 points in 23 games. Ottawa loses as well, and they miss out an opportunity to move up. 11-7-4, 26 points in 22 games. The Metro, New Jersey, moves back into second place behind Carolina. 14-7-1, 29 points in 22 games. The Islanders drop down. They have 28 points in 23 games. Washington is now the number one wild card. 12-9-2, 26 points in 23 games. Boston, the number two wild card, 13-11, 26 points in 24 games. Philadelphia, 11-7-3 now, 25 points in 21 games. The same record as Montreal. And so they go from the number two wild card to dropping three teams down. This is how crazy and how close everything is. Florida moves up, 12-9-1, 25 points in 22 games. Columbus 11-9-3, 25 points in 23 games. And the Rangers 11-11-2. They're now back to NHL 500, 24 points in 24 games. And Buffalo and Toronto did not play. So there you go. You're all caught up. You got caught up on the standings as well. There's just one game tomorrow, and it takes place at 6 o'clock my time. And considering I'm going to the dentist and then I'm going to the optometrist, I'm gonna have some fun with it. I might have issues with freezing, so I might talk kind of funny in my first video tomorrow. We'll see. But at any rate, yeah, I'm gonna kind of take myself in for that tune-up, and yeah, so that should be fun, right? But I did make it so it's during the one game day in the National Hockey League, so I can do like videos later in the day, like a news video later in the day, that kind of thing. So don't panic when there isn't a video early in the morning, as I usually do. Early for me is like 10, 11 o'clock, but still. There won't be a video early tomorrow. It's going to be later on, and then I'll still do my daily usual videos. I'm toying with a few different ideas in my brain. So look forward to that, but thank you guys so much for all your support. It's greatly appreciated. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means so much to me, and I will talk to you again soon.